guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for returning back. I do not take you guys for granted. Thank you so much indeed. All right, so today, as you can all see, we have a very special guest in our midst. Say hello.
Hi.
Okay, so we have him here.
Did you say I should say hello? Hello.
Oh my god. Anyways, introduce yourself. I'm sure some of you already know him anyway, but introduce yourself.
You always say special guest. Special guest. No, I prefer to be in-house person, not special guest.
Okay, so he's our in-house person.
Yes, in-house, not special guest. And there's no introduction. I'm the husband. I'm the husband.
He's the husband.
I'm the husband. I may be the husband. Oh.
Okay, that's on the lighter note.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm Uzziah.
all right.
Uzziah is my name. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, love, for agreeing to film this video with me.
In-house. Not special.
Today we're going to be talking about relationship expectation from marriage versus marriage realities. So if it is something that you are interested in watching, please sit back, relax, and keep on watching. Okay? Alright, so we're going to be talking about relationship expectations for marriage versus marriage realities. Okay, I know each and every one of us all had expectations before we went into marriage. That is, if you are married. And some of us that are not married, we all have expectations in our relationship before you will not get into marriage, right? So yes, if you are like me, because I also had expectations before getting into marriage. Everybody, I feel, have expectations before they get into marriage. So we'll be talking about some of those expectations that we had before getting into marriage, and then we'll be telling you some of the realities that we discovered while in marriage for this few months or few months that we have been married. So we're going to be sharing our own realities and expectations with you guys. But before we go into the list of those expectations versus realities, I would like to know if you have anything to say or add up before we continue.
Really?
Yeah.
Relationship expectation for marriage. As a guy man now, I was thinking that time, man, I want my marriage to be cool. Some of those stuff, women now, some of them will be hiding something, and I meant to guy man will be showing some things, trying to prove a point here and there. But in marriage, so many things are there to learn. I love that.
Yes. Okay, so we are going to be uncovering those things. So yes, we're going to be uncovering those things. I'm sure most of you must have heard it one way or the other, but
more especially your dimple.
Anyways, all right, so let's go right into today's video. So in this phone, I have some of the things I listed down. So sometimes when you see me with my phone or looking down, I'm kind of reading out the expectation that we wrote down, so that we'll not be rambling too much. So let's go right in to the list. Okay, so our first one is communication and comprehension. Communication and comprehension. When before we went into marriage, in relationship, while we were dating, I and my husband, we felt as definitely we'll be communicating and getting to know each other, right? But while we were dating, we always had, or let me not speak for him, I had the expectation that when we get into marriage, when we are communicating, when we are talking, to be smooth, there will not be any hiccups. We will be understanding each other. Whenever I say something, he will understand me very smoothly, very we will not be arguing and pertaining, oh, I don't understand you. Communication, you have to understand the meaning of communication. You also have to understand comprehension. Comprehension is understanding, like getting to understand something, okay, about, as in, let's say somebody is saying something, and then you understand, you comprehend, you understand what that person is saying. While communication is your maybe your skill of talking,
Trying to
um
pass a
yes, trying to
message
pass a message, just like I'm communicating with you guys, you
and the
understand.
ability to
So
understand what she's
yes,
saying is comprehension.
comprehension.
English,
That's so,
English.
that's
I'm
so.
not too gospel. I always tell people that I'm not too gospel.
Okay, so yes, that is it. So when we were in that phase, in the relationship phase, we always felt we'll be communicating and understanding each other very well. That's for me. Maybe he might have his own opinion on that. Yes, so that's what I always envisioned or always thought of. But the reality is that you cannot have it all.
Really?
You always have some
But me and
hitches.
you, we
We
have been communicating now.
Yes, we have been
So,
communicating, but it's not all the time that you understand what I'm saying,
really?
or you understand the point of view that I'm coming from.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Hey.
Yes, I have to say that out.
All right. Truly, in relationship, then when we were dating, I remember that time when I call her, she would say, "Hello, darling. Hello, honey. How is it?" And all those kind of stuff, sweet things, and all those stuff. Now, apart from that, small things, even up to today, even in marriage, small things that worries me. I'm somebody that don't hide things from somebody I love, and any small thing I communicate her either by texting. I'm somebody then in relationship. If I call and she doesn't pick, wow, I get worried and just upset. Why is she not picking my call? This is the only one that need to hear this. And all stuff like that. These are the things that we're doing. Communication, and some of the expectation was that we wanted it to be in such a way that even any step in, out, you communicate out to your partner. Any step out, in, you communicate out to your partner. And it's not something should be hidden at all. That was the expectations in the relationship while we were still dating, expecting it in marriage. Now, coming to reality in marriage, actually it's still going on, but it's just that it's not all the time because
That's
of
reduced.
yes, it's still going on. It's not all the time just due to busy schedules and all stuff like that. But communication is very, very important in marriage. It's very, very, very important. The reason is because as I'm sitting down here, I'll be laughing, be joking, can do all those stuff. But my wife doesn't know what's inside me except I speak it out. That is communication. And likewise, her, as beautiful as she is, with her big, some dimple in her face, all those kind of stuff, I may not know what is inside her except she's communicated out or except she speak it out. So what I'm trying to pass across there is that communication is very, very important, because that is where your partner gets to know what it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are things that you may do in hairs, you have not yet informed your partner, more especially in the office, something come up urgently, you need your attention. Actually, if you cannot be able to call, drop a message. If you cannot be able to drop a message, as soon as you're on your way, look for one way to communicate out, because security, or security wise, it's very, very important. And your trust issues, your wife will have that confidence, your husband will have that confidence. Yes, my wife told me she's going to this place, my husband told me she's going to this place. I'm not sure where, maybe all these gossip here and there. I saw your husband there. Are you aware? Why would my husband go this place without letting me know? This is lapses in communication. But when there is proper communication, all those things move smoothly. I think that is that.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Meanwhile, in this communication, a story of some couples which I heard of, they have been in relationship. I believe they were communicating in one way or the other, but something lead to another. Something lead to another. They have been married over 10 years. But guess what? You know what happened, love? These couples, the husband is a teacher, and the wife, I don't know her job quite all right, but before they get married, the wife happens to build a house, and
That's nice.
the other the man was still in one way or the other still struggling, but love was there. They got married and they have children, so they were continuing. The husband take the responsibility as a man, but do you know what? Something happened during the lockdown. The husband was there. Things were not flowing the way it was flowing before, so life was becoming so hard. At the end of the day, something happened. The house rent, the husband was not meeting up as usual. Now the caretaker of the house was somebody that the husband always speak and beg, please, I'm sorry, give me time, I'll pay, give me time, I'll pay. And the person was seeing what the man is passing through without knowing what the house belonged to the wife that the man was married to. But the man doesn't know. And they have children up to 2 or 3 thereabout. But something happened. When this man, the caretaker, saw how this man was struggling here and there, and his conscience would not let him go, he have to disclose it to the
Husband.
husband and say, "Hi, man, I've seen the way you are suffering. Truly, truly, my conscience is not letting me. Truly, truly, the house you are staying belongs to your wife. Instead of you struggling here and there to pay this house rent, why not speak to her?" The man was shocked. My wife, this? No, I don't think so. Without knowing, the man got home. When he get home, he communicated to the wife, this house, is it your own? The wife start crying and begging, yes, it's my own. The husband now asking, why is it that you did not disclose it to me long before now? It's not about the house. It's about me knowing. And you know our situation, the way we are struggling, but you still yet bring up all these things. It's really terrible. Do you know what happened? The husband just pick a cloth from that house and get out. And that is the end of the marriage. Till today, the pastors are still sorting how to see how to, bring them together. The man anger is not the house. The man anger is that something was hidden. The woman hide something and she could not be able to disclose it to him all these years. And to
That they
him
have
that
been
that
together.
yes, to him that if this thing is hidden, that means there are still things that are still hidden. And if something, the woman can end up killing him. The man was really scared of his life. So if it happened, you look at all these things was because of lack of communication. So when there's no communication, it's just a matter of time. There will always be a problem in marriage.
Okay. All right. So having said that, our next point is perfect night of cuddling. We all have this kind of expectations before in a relationship that, oh, when you get married, you're not licensed at the stage of when you're in the relationship, you're not licensed to be having any intimate moments with your partner, based on my own belief as a Christian. Okay, so but you always have this expectation that when you get married, you guys will be having cuddling section. Let me put it that way. Having some moment together, cuddling and hugging and kissing and all that, you get. But what the thing is that, yes, that will be happening, but it can happen from the beginning of the relationship, that is the beginning of the marriage. But at the long run, it might not be like that, because realities will definitely set in. Sometimes your partner will not always be there or available for you guys to be cuddly, except you guys are intentional. And one thing I would like to say is that marriage is all about intentionality, as in you being intentional about everything. If you want to continue with that, yes, you can be very intentional by always doing that, having time for each other to do that. Okay, but in reality, it's not going to be all the time. It might happen sometimes, but not all the time. That is it. So, but you have any other thing to say pertaining this?
Is that what you are saying?
Yes.
In cuddling issue, men, more especially men, Some men will be envisioning things. If I get married, this is how I'm going to treat my wife. This is how I want it for my wife. This is what I want for my wife. Oh, when you come to this session, this is the part I want to play. This is what I want her to play. So many imaginations, emotions, feelings, and all stuff like that. Yes, these are it is part of life, and I want to beg all of I want to beg you people out there that is a right thing, is a right setup to have this kind of feelings, to have this kind of mindset. Is good because that is what keeps you going. That is what
Yes.
gives you hope. That is what gives you inspiration in your relationship.
Like wanting to
Yeah,
go
yes.
on.
Now, coming into marriage, these are things that you will be doing and doing at the first period, second, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, and thereabout. The truth is that it will be there. It will be there. But the reality is that it's not all the time. Sometimes you may have that feeling, sometimes you may not. Depends on the condition or the environment or the nature of your work that you are dealing with. It happens. But the truth is that memories is something that will always come to play in marriage. Now, imagine with all those your expectation at first in relationship and all of it was into marriage, and at this moment, sometimes you feel, I don't feel like having this. But when that memory just, come into play in your mind or in your head, the next thing you say, I want to see my wife. I want to see my wife.
Yeah.
Or I want to see my husband. I'm missing my husband. That is what brought about missing. That is what brought about, I miss you. All those things just because of memories that have been created long before now. Now, with those memory, I want to, tell you people or say it categorically that these memory are memories that no one should joke with as lovers or as couples, because your husband may be at work, your wife may be at work having these memories, and when she get back home, she wants all what she have imagined of, she wants it in her husband. You as a man, no matter how tired you are, her life is part of you. Your life is part of her. So you should blend into any moment she's coming with, that moment of joy, that enthusiasm of feelings, and be there for her. Because if you spoil that moment, when such memories come up again, the next thing the woman
She
will say,
wouldn't want
oh,
to.
the last time I had this, when I went and
Yeah.
meet my husband, the next thing I could see was another different thing. Even though you have something in mind as couples, or as a husband or a wife, at that moment that your husband is coming with one emotion or the other, be there for him or her. Blend into that situation and make sure that you deal with it to the last call. Then whatever in your mind, you can bring it up. Then I think that will have a proper conversation, and that will bring about unity, more memories, more love, more cares, and more freshness.
All right. So our next one is eat together. I know most of us also had this admiration or expectation that when you guys get into the marriage, you guys will be eating together. I, for one, I had the expectation. Not just I. I mean, when we were in the relationship, when we were in the relationship, I and my husband, something we discussed about. We asked each other if it is something we want to keep on
Even
doing.
in relationship, we're eating
Yeah.
together.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
we used to
true.
eat together.
Each time he comes to my place or I come to his place, we eat together. So it was something we had already started building. Okay, so that's why I meant mention of intentionality. So if it is something you expect that you guys will be eating together, that's your expectation, but in reality sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes your partner or your husband, your wife might be away and then you have to eat alone. Okay, so that is one thing that we have to, or he might be busy at work and may come back home late. You cannot stay up late and then be starving yourself because your husband is not back. You have to feed yourself, and then when he comes back you can then sit down with him while he's eating and then be
I
having
love that
conversation
part.
with him. Okay. I think that will solve the issue than saying that you will starve yourself. That's reality. But at the beginning of time, you guys can be doing that if that is your expectation, and then you have to be very intentional. That is mine. So you have
Yes.
something
On my
to.
own aspect, eating together is like what the scripture said that the house that pray together stay together,
Okay.
and eating together is staying together. That is one memory about it. And when it's one of the things I enjoy most with my wife when we are eating together. Seeing her eating, it motivates me to eat more. It also motivates her to eat more. But when she's eating alone, one way or the other, or when I'm eating alone, before I know
Yeah.
I'm full. I'm full. I'll just be drinking water.
It's
Sometimes I'll just be frowning, just frown like this while here. That is one aspect, but
that's
in
true.
reality, it's not always. It's not always because work may take you out of the house, or at work something hunger strike and the rest of it. One way or the other, you just want to eat. And if you are eating because of those memory, the way you used to do me, if I'm eating, if maybe I travel out that I'll have to spend like 2 3 days. Anytime I'm eating food, I always see my wife with me eating.
Oh,
I'm
really?
serious. It makes me I feel as if she's eating we are eating the same plate. The way we sit, we eat and chat, we laugh, all those stuff. It makes me brings those memories back,
Funny
and
enough,
the two will just be making me. I want to go back home. I want to go back home. I want to go back home.
funny enough,
So these
right?
are memories, and they
Yeah.
are things that I love so much,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
true.
keep me, happy. And sometimes, if anything, after work, when I'm there, I'll just be calculating so day. I'm going back home. When maybe I have like 3 4 days to stay before I resume or come back home, the thing will just be doing me. I will just be calculating, will that day going to come? Will that day going to come? If that day come, will that hour going to come for me to leave to come back home? All these memories
Oh
at home
my gosh.
is so crazy, and is something very enjoyable as couples.
Yeah.
So it's good to eat together. Even with children, eat together because it will help. It also unite your family because
Together.
they will say, mommy and daddy, they are dead for one another. So these are memories, and they are good. They are very, very good memories. So if you
Intentionality.
have that, you be deliberate about it. Be deliberate about it. Sometimes even when there is an argument, when you are eating together at that table of eating, you end up laughing one way or the other. That
That's
is life for
true.
me.
That's true.
So it
That's
helps.
very,
It
very true.
helps. It
That's true.
helps.
Okay, so our next one is completing words, thinking everything will be in one agreement. Okay, so in while we are in relationship, or while couples are in a relationship, right? We have this mentality, or let me not say mentality, expectation that when I say a word, you complete the word for me. And then we always agree to each other's opinion. Let's say if I have my own view, you agree to my view without even and if you also have your own view, I agree to your view. We don't have, like, everybody doesn't have his own individuality. Okay, so yes, that's one thing that people usually used to feel, expect, well, before they get into the marriage, that we'll be completing each other. Or let's say I'm saying something and my partner will have to, like, I'm thinking of which word. Let's say I'm saying, okay, like, I'm communicating right now, right, to you guys. um I'm talking, and then I'm talking about communication. I'm talking about this. I'm thinking of exact words,
Yeah.
and then you now chip in, like, giving me the
Like,
exact sentence I wanted to say.
no, what you are trying to say is that maybe I just say, will you be there? When I mentioned there, you already know where I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Maybe we have an agreement where she should always be when I mentioned there. So these are the kind things. But what she's trying to say in the essence is that in relationship, if I may understand her question very well, in relationship,
What's the question though?
the tips or whatever you are mentioning in relationship, you know it's not all things that are being displayed to one another. The reason is because you people are not staying together, and in relationships, to some extent, some people hide some things. Man may end up hiding, woman too may end up hiding. And why there are all these hidden things is because woman is trying her best to bring out her best to impress the husband to be, and the husband too is hitting some small pothole somewhere and trying to impress the wife. And all these things, maybe there are some decisions the wife may be taking, and to you try to caution her, but because you don't want to lose her, you end up saying, no problem, no problem. But in marriage, some men are rigid. They will say, if in my house I don't marry you now, no way, there's nothing you can do. All these things, these are realities in marriage. But the truth is that decision making is something that the both of you have it together. The both of you have it together. Like me and my wife, when there is an issue or we are trying to make a decision about something, first and foremost, if I have something to do, I will bring it up. I will ask her, what is your opinion? I will just first of all make her bring out, exhaust whatever thing she has in her mind, express herself the way she think, the way it. After doing that, I will pick out what is very, very important. Then why me? I will now bring, okay, this is my suggestion. These are the things. The one you say this way, if we go this way, these are the picture, the way I look at it from now to the end, and this is what it is. So we weigh the chances of 50-50, either the advantage and disadvantage. And whatever we look at that is having more advantage, then we'll go with it. It's not something that you may end up finally saying that I'm the man of the house. This thing must not happen. Such decisions are not taken in life decision or in things that will bring development to the house. No. Most of things, I used to tell her that if you see me being rich about something, it's something that has to endanger your life, which I cannot allow it be. Maybe to you have already viewed the side that is good for you, but me that I've seen the full side of it, I will tell you, no, this is nowhere to go. And because of your feelings at that moment, you may end up seeing as if I'm wicked. No. But at later end, you may end up, I should say, wow, I love that decision. Like when we are preparing for marriage, if you watch our previous videos, she was saying that we should go and take loan for wedding and stuff like that. I told her, no. It's no go area. For me to get married, incurring debt into marriage, that is the video, is something very dangerous. And it may not go well with our relationship in marriage. So I don't want that. At last, when that period, she was feeling maybe I'm not interested or I'm being reluctant about the wedding and stuff. But today, after the wedding, she saw it that truly I was rice, not beans.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll link that video in my description box so you can check it out. Okay. All right. So our next one is having to love your husband all the time. And having to love your husband all the time is not every day you like your husband. So we all know that our expectation is that we'll be loving our husband every day of our life till death do us part. That is our expectations. But in real sense, let me first of all say that love is an act, not a feeling. Okay, so we all have that feeling. We feel like love is a feeling. Okay, but love is a deliberate act that you have to show. That I feel like men usually act their love, while women, that's my own my thought. I feel like women usually they how do they express, they express their love by their words, while men express their love by their action. I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, so but in a relationship, we expect that we are going to be loving each other each and every day of our life, but in the real sense, in reality, it's not going to be always be like that. It wouldn't always be like that. It sometimes you want to be alone, you want to be on your own space, you want to have your own space, you want to be an individual, you don't want to be couple. Sometimes it happens like that. It happens in relationship, but like I said again, I'm going to still repeat it. Love or marriage is about intentionality. You have to be deliberate about everything in marriage. Okay, so yes, sometimes you have that kind of feeling, but it doesn't mean that you don't love your partner. So that is for me. What do you think about that?
To me, what you are trying to say is that we are humans. We have emotions. We
Yeah.
have some things that may come up. And sometimes some situation may come up, and the next thing, some emotion will come up that, why not just be alone? Why not just do this alone? These are the kind of things that come up. But the reality is that marriage is till death do us apart. Now, there is this common saying that the way you set your bed, that is how you lie on it. Now, what I'm trying to say in the essence is that as husband and wife, when devil is tempting you, or as couples, when devil is bringing out those feelings, these are not feelings from from a right feelings. Let me just these are not right feelings, because as husband and wife, no matter whatever thing you have, you people share things in common. But at this time, devil can tempt you in different dimensions. They may decide to say, why did you, why you're supposed to be alone now? And when you are being alone, there are some decisions in quote
You
that you
can
may
take.
make that are very harmful. So always carry your partner along in any condition, in anything. Openness is one of the things that helps in the marriage. When you are open-minded to your husband, or maybe you're having one kind of feeling, you may end up telling your husband, I'm feeling this. Your husband may look for one way, or your wife may look for one way to include herself into that condition, and before you know, the two of you are in right mood. So if you said that yes, moments come like that, but as couples, it's something that we should resist, be deliberate about it. More especially when it comes to intimacy, and your husband, maybe your wife needs your attention. You say, no, I don't want. These are things that can bring a lot of challenges, because you never can tell what is pushing your partner towards you at that moment. When you fill in that gap, you have also solved that problem. And that is how you should go about, than saying, oh, loneliness, it kills, it kills, it kills. I'm not saying that it's not good to have a quiet time. There is quiet time. You need to have quiet time for yourself. You know, quiet time is quite different to being lonely.
Can
You understand? It's quiet time. Having quiet time is different for you being lonely. You can have quiet time for yourself. That is a good thing, maybe in prayers and all stuff like that. But you being alone, I don't want anybody, my husband should not come to me, is very, very injurious. It's danger.
no,
Is
but sometimes I know there are not. I don't think it will happen to me, but I've heard of some women that actually will want to just find their, maybe because of the things, like let's say if they have children, they want to be away for a while to refresh their mind, to refresh their, before like coming back. Let's say they want to take a vacation or just go out, as in be their own self, not to be.
I understand what you are trying to say.
So it's not necessarily like saying that they are lonely.
Yes, I understand what you are trying to say. Is maybe I want to take a break.
Yeah.
Is there a break in marriage? Even where
It's
you are, you
not.
will still be thinking about
Yes,
God.
but at least you're just
That is
alone
the
and then
fact.
you're
If I may put it in the right way, that I feel that it may be, is that
okay.
maybe when you feel such a thing, when you feel such a thing that you want to go somewhere to be alone and all stuff
Or
like that,
probably hang out with some
hang out with
friends.
some friends. Hang out with some friends. It's good though, but it's dangerous. My brothers and sisters, is
It depends
dangerous.
on the kind of friend that one
The truth is
has.
that I make my wife as one of my best friends. She's my best friend. And all things I do, I always carry her alone. It's just that sometimes it's not everywhere I go with her. Maybe I can't go to office with her, she cannot go to office with me. All those places are places that you are alone now. So it's not something very, why I'm being conscious about being alone, in my own understanding, is that
I think I
any gap you
understand.
give out there,
Yeah, I understand
if
it.
there is vacuum, something negative may end up filling that place. And
Okay.
when there is an element of bad things starting infiltrating into your mind, my brothers and sisters, don't give that space.
I think I get what
Don't give that
the
space.
aspect you're coming up from.
Yes.
think we'll let it be from there so that this video will not be super
Or if you
long.
have any other option, we are not an island of knowledge.
Yeah,
we are
you
still
can put that
learning.
in the comment
We can
section.
learn from you there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so next one is doing everything together. My dear, it's for me. I say this one is for me deliberately. Okay, so before going into marriage, like my topmost expectation.
Yes, that's what she always tells me.
As in he knows.
She will tell me, we will wash together, we will cook together, we will
It's
drink
first-
together, we will do everything together. That time I was like, yes, yes. You know why? Because I want to get married to a light woman. And truly, I want this, I want that, I want this, I said, yes. Don't worry. All of us have seen it.
See, the thing is that I wanted us to do everything together.
That is one of our hobby.
Most couples, I believe, mostly ladies, I want to say, that they have this idea or expectation of having to spend time with their partner or doing everything together with their partner. But the thing is that in reality, you're unable to do all those stuff. Sometimes your husband will be complaining that he wants to rest or sleep, and you have to do your chores as a woman. Because that's your role as a wife, to do to your husband or to do for the home. Okay, so sometimes I have those thoughts of conflicting, the expectations. Sometimes he do like some things, right? But I kind of like wish that we can do most of those things
100%.
together.
100%.
But I know that it is not possible. But at
She
least
wished she'd be 100%.
80%.
80%. But the truth is that I do, but not always.
Not always.
And mostly I likely do things that she don't expect me to do.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
It
I
can be
surprise
very
her. I
surprising.
surprise her with those kind of things.
And I love it,
One thing that she feel that I must do it, I employ it. I said, no, this one, if I do it, you feel it as if it's normal.
But like sometimes, like I really want you to do that thing with me. Like I just enjoyed being the company of you doing those things.
I will not be cooking together. We do.
No, we don't.
We don't.
We don't. We don't cook together. Yes, we don't cook together.
I pound pepper.
And I did not.
It's not cooking
That's why I
together.
said sometimes that
I
he
pound
does that.
pepper. Not only pepper. I slice onion. Not only onion. I slice vegetable. Not only vegetable. I would. So many things. When I'm at home, I do it now.
But sometimes.
So you're okay. You want me if you put one Maggi, I should put one Maggi.
No, is not what I'm
Okay.
saying now.
Okay.
You know that like some men, right? When you are in the kitchen, they will be inside. They'll be watching football or crossing their leg. Instead of assisting you one way or the other, they feel they can. That's what I want in my own husband. That's what my expectation.
The truth is that it's not all what she wants that she gets from me.
Yes,
That is
but
the
at
fact.
least I guess
But
so.
I do what I feel.
So what I'm
is
saying
best
is
known
that you
to
should
me.
not put that in your head. Let it not overshadow you that because I'm suffering it. Don't put like
Sometimes she will drag me out. I'll just leave me now. It's time for me to rest.
yeah.
But as a man, whatever you can do, don't leave everything for your wife 100%. Do what you can be able to do. Let her too feel involved, because she too, she's a human being. It's really tiring. There's one day that I sweep, I mop, I do all those things. That day, funny. Funny. So
you can imagine what the women are going through. Thank you so much.
Doing well.
Thank
But
you
if
for-
a man too is trying, you should also say
Yes,
thank
you
you.
know
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Okay, so that's one of it. Okay, so please, guys, try and help your partner out one way or the other when you can. Alright, so our next one is you will not always look sexy. Okay, so you'll not always look sexy. It's not all the time that you'll be looking all pot. I know we ladies before we went into the marriage, you'll be envisioning, I'm going to show this man.
You are going to show me pepper.
I'm going to when you see me,
Do
when
the
you
do must
see
come.
me, you be going over the moon, like, yeah.
Shit.
Like, you have all these nice lingeries and all that, looking all pink,
Putting flowers everywhere.
all those petals. For my brothers and sisters, in reality, it doesn't happen all the time. It happens sometimes, like when you're intentional. I keep on saying this one because that is it, intentionality. You have to be deliberate about everything. So yes, it
Whatever
happens
you
sometimes.
want, you can make
Yes, it happens sometimes, but not all the time. So when you make time for it, yeah, it will happen. But
I can remember there's one first food day when I went to work. You understand? I came back, everywhere in my house was red. Flower from outside took my food back. I say, what? This was like a dream. The way you people watch it on television and film, that is how it was in my house. I said, what?
But how did you feel?
My dear, not only food though. It wasn't only food though. You know the rest. But the truth is that she was intentional of what she wanted. And when I met it, it was different. I'm telling you.
Really?
I dream about that in a dream.
Oh my God.
All right. What we are saying here is that it's not all the time that you may be having moments,
Like
all
that.
moments of intimacy. No, it's not all. Sometimes you will feel like not to even do anything of that. But the reality is that when you communicate, like sometimes we can say, my wife, she like to be indoor. She love that one.
I want to cut him short because one of the next point is you will not always be having to do the do. Yeah. So because it's already starting off the conversation, so I don't. Yes, no. It's not all the time that you'll be doing the do. If you don't know what the meaning of do the do is, run back to our previous videos and go and watch it.
The truth is that you don't be having all they do. According to her, her language, I'm not the one that created it.
Let me tell you, you will not be able to do the do or having to do the do. Do the do. That's what. I'm a spoiled brat.
The truth is that they do. According to her, may not be always, but it should, if at all, it should be at all the time.
If you can.
It cannot be always, but it should be at all the time. All the time, what I mean all the time here is that whatever time that your partner is in need of it, be there for the person. That is what the scripture said. Man, do not deny yourself from your woman. And woman, don't deny your husband. That is what the scripture said. Because by so doing, you don't give God for temptation out there.
All right. So thank you. So our last one. Okay, I know this video is getting so interesting. So our last one is you can't have the do everywhere. You can't be able to do the do everywhere. I know we all have the expectations that when we get married, we'll be able to have each other anywhere in the house. Anywhere at all. But when children set in, that is the reality. You will not be able to do that. Except you are intentional and pack the children to sleep and lock the door. Because there's some children that even though they are when you're going to go and lay them to sleep, they will pretend as if they are sleeping.
It's like it's like she acted that kid. Oh my God! It's like she had this drama called "Don't Catch."
There is also one movie that I also want Akin and Papa movie. Akin and Papa movie like that. That Papa was not.
All right. What she's trying to say, what we're trying to pass across is that as time goes on, see, in all, anything you want as couples, you are in good position to make what you want.
True.
Even children are there. Some people will send their children go and play outside. They know the rest. Oh, I know they there.
Or you
Oh.
can communicate to your children
But
in a
the
better
truth is
form. We
that
have to want
in
to have
all
that
this,
alone time.
in all this, you should also have sign communications.
Yeah.
You know, if it is the do they do you want to do, have a sign with your wife or your husband. If it is a wife that you want, you can tell your husband. You have the language you communicate one to one another that you people understand best. So have a very good communication sign, and if at all there is a correction or your wife is doing something you want to correct, it's not all things that should be frowned at. Even a sign, you can communicate it better. Like my wife, if something happens, she know now. If she see me frowning, she knows say I mean something. She knows say I mean something. And me too. If I see her quiet, she don't dey answer anything. I know say something there inside her mind. So I have to dig out what is inside there. All is about the way you set yourself. And truly, marriage is sweet.
Yeah.
Is sweet. There are bitter part of it, but to me, I look at the whole scenario from the experience I've had now. Marriage is sweet. Is sweet. Because what you cannot be able to lift as one, the two of you can lift
Live
it
it
easily.
together.
And all these things is when the way you people look at one another. And most of the thing is if you are not hiding anything from your wife, or your husband or your wife is not hiding anything from you, be open-minded. If you know these memories, it's not everything that you may remember, even at work, or but one situation may pop up something. And when such a thing communicate, oh, darling, I forget to tell you this. Oh, no, honey, I forget to tell you this. All these things are memories. And the way you make your house lively, joyful, enjoyable, you will be healthy. Look at us now, we're not fresh. Look at us now, are we not fresh? You will be healthy. But when there are cankerworms inside mind, you people are hiding, keeping, putting grudges here and there. My brothers and sisters, you'll be shrinking. Shrinking. Shrinking.
Oh, please, that is in the
That
lighter
is
note.
So love one another. In this world that we are into, a marriage get us. Enjoying it here. When you get there, we don't know whether we will marry
We
there
don't
or
think so.
so enjoy what you have.
Yeah.
Make your couples happy. Make your couple that one. Make each other happy. That's what I mean. Make each other happy. Have fun.
Make yourself happy.
Even
Sometimes,
when there are problems, even when there is a problem, communicate that problem out. There is nothing that doesn't have
your
solution.
husband will not know what is in your mind except to
Don't
bring
show
it out.
attitude. Don't nag. No. Don't show attitude. Don't nag at each other. It's not the right way to go. We are all human beings. We are not animals.
Yeah.
So communicate it out. If at that moment your husband is somehow upset or your wife is somehow upset, what do? I keep quiet. At one moment, I look for one player and joke and put inside when she's laughing. When she doesn't want to laugh, when I see say she don't laugh, I say, you say you no go laugh. No laugh again, no, it's too expensive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my love. Thank you so much for gracing our
Thank you,
channel.
my brothers and sisters. If you are not subscribing to this channel, truly you are not doing us good.
Now.
Do it for us. I will cry for next video. Yeah, I will cry. Yeah, I will cry. Please, if you like this face, please subscribe it too.
Please
support
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Love you.
Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Have a nice and blessed day. Bye. Peace out.